Good day. Welcome to DashBored, episode 5. Fellas.
It's still living.
Yeah, we made it this far. We made it this far. Not bad, not bad. I think that deserves a, is that a round of applause thing?
I think so.
Throw it in there.
Maybe. Let's try it. I feel good about that. I feel good.
Sounds like a large audience.
That's the idea. Yeah. It's cold, it's snowing, it's still January, but we're officially in the new year.
It's Quattro weather right now. It is snowing pretty heavily.
Yeah, you came in the all road.
I did.
You drove through all roads, dare I say?
Very slowly behind a very cautious individual in some sort of GMC big truck. So
Okay.
the traction control was off, but I did not get any chance to exploit.
Okay, got it.
Maybe on the way home.
Yeah, maybe on the way home.
yeah.
Because it does look like it's still going to keep coming all day tomorrow. And,
Yeah, we should get a pretty good snow here.
Yeah, apparently it's, I hate this time of year. It can really just slap you upside the head. I had plans for tomorrow, but we'll see if that comes through.
Well,
Yeah. Let's get an update.
we'll be fine.
Let's get an update on Mike's Cayenne. Fill us in, Mike.
The old Cayenne.
Yeah.
Not much going on this week. A week later, still on the road. It is going in for its upgrades as we speak. So, lift kit, brakes, struts, service.
So there'll be a photo update next week to be shared.
There will.
Wonderful.
There will.
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
I can't wait. Maybe we should all probably sit in it tonight so we know where it is.
We should do.
And then
we'll
how
feel-
high is it going?
2.5.
Yeah, that's a good,
Yeah.
It's noticeable.
I mean, I'm 5'11". I'll take the extra 2 inches. It's a win.
I
Something
feel like
to
we
think
all
about.
own this car now.
It's a
Pretty
we.
much, yeah.
It's a we.
It's a we thing.
It's a royal thing. Okay, so mods, and then by next week when we record.
When we drop this episode, it'll be back.
Okay.
And Dylan, any update on the front of
Yes.
your Cayenne shopping?
We've been looking, but we haven't actually seen any yet. I thought we would, but a little busy this week. So,
Okay.
haven't
Scrolling
really
the
made it
trader.
out. Yeah,
Busy scrolling the trader. Is that what you said?
I know. There's so many in like the Oakville region.
Really?
What
are you trying to say?
5 to 1.
What are you trying to say? A bunch of wealthy people that
I'm
bought them
gonna
and
guess
didn't
so.
drive them?
No, they didn't
yeah.
buy them. They leased them for their wife.
Right.
But
Okay. Understood. Yeah. Savage.
that may come across as a certain way, but it's absolutely true. So
If I recall correctly, Dylan, you said last time we were here recording that you would have driven some by now. So
I know.
That's interesting.
I know. I usually don't go back on my word, but I have to on this one.
I just want to make sure I throw that out there. Make sure we call you out.
Is your wife still on board?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for
Alright,
sure.
good. She hasn't backed out yet.
No,
Just
it
checking.
hasn't backed out. No.
Okay.
But I know that you, Sean, you've been looking at some diesels.
yeah, so the update from that is I mentioned we talked last week about a dark blue metallic .2.
Oh yes,
diesel,
yes.
and it ended up selling for $40,250 plus the 5% VAT fee. US dollars,
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Plus
Right.
6% import.
Right. So on the wonderful spreadsheet that I have that automatically calculates all of this for me, spit out at the bottom line, I think it was going to cost 58,000 Canadian dollars to buy that truck, and you'd have to go get it from wherever the heck it was. I think it was in Colorado.
That's
Road
not
trip?
exactly road trip.
Yeah, well, sure.
That's not small money.
No. So I mean, it just sort of highlights point. Really, for the last 24 months or more, it's been very difficult to justify the costs. And now with a further, I don't know if it's 10 cents on our loonie or wherever, for how much further it's dropped, it's really just impossible in my view to buy anything nice out of the U.S. because it just makes it so cost prohibitive.
What can you get at 58,000 Canadian that you would compare that to here used? That isn't a Porsche Cayenne.
Well, I think we covered this last week, but
At 58,000? I don't remember that.
I think at 58,000, I'm buying a 3 or 4 year old Jaguar SVR F-Pace.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
And well, top of mind. I mean, for a Cayenne competitor sized. What else is interesting? Not a whole heck of a lot.
No,
but I'm still
that
not
is
going
the
to spend
problem.
60,000 on a 10-year-old.
No, fair enough.
More
yeah.
than 10-year-old.
I did share that 2016 Turbo, the Cayenne Turbo, which to my eyes is actually quite a rare car. I don't know how many they sold.
The white one.
The white one, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Which had reasonably low miles. That's why I sent it to you. It was
it
like
had
60,000
really low miles.
kilometers for almost a 9-year-old car. I thought that's pretty good.
And one of these actually came up today as well on Bring a Trailer. I haven't bid on it.
Okay.
But I was under the assumption that in 16 they they were not V8s, but they are.
The turbo.
The turbo is still
but
the 4.8.
GTS would have been the Turbo 6.
Yes. Okay. So maybe that was the mix-up.
That's why I sent it, because I thought, ooh, that could be.
Yeah.
You know,
and like 525 horsepower.
Oh, I didn't read that. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turbo trouble comes to mind again. Turbo tax, is that a thing? Yeah.
Big costs, big maintenance, but the one that
Big baller.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recall if it had an accident on the history. It seemed like a pretty reasonable car. It looked pretty clean. I don't recall.
Almost every Cayenne I've looked at,
almost everyone has an
they
accident.
have had some sort of and maybe it's minor, maybe it's not. I think people can sort of hide these things, right? But yeah, I mean, bumper covers, whatever it may be, I'm sure people put those through insurance, and like every single one of them they've looked at, it's like, yep, been in a minor accident.
Yeah. I talked to Sean about this when I was looking for mine, that it's quite common you would find like a 2016 GTS. There's quite a few of them around, it seemed, but every time you looked, I used the exhaust pipe as a metric, and you could tell because in the 2016 model the bumper wraps around the exhaust, and you could always tell if it had been nicked or marked because the exhaust wasn't quite fitting quite right in that perfectly spaced Porsche port, you know?
And there would be no reason for it to not be proper unless it had taken a whack.
Exactly. Against a curb.
Not at that age.
No,
maybe in 05.
Yeah.
You're going to see some sag.
Maybe. Yeah. But you know what I like about your truck in particular, Mike, is that the exhaust is that it has that nice fit. Like it goes
Looks
right
good.
around. I like the look of that. It fits right in the back bumper, comes right through the bumper, and yours doesn't look to have had an impact there.
No.
It looks clean.
The front end, don't look too closely.
It's the same for mine. It's not the end of the world. I actually drove by today a 2013 Cayenne in white, and I have a bit of a soft spot for them, so it drove by me, and I thought, oof, look at that. I wished I was in mine, but it was snowing a little too heavy for the all-terrain tires.
Lots of snow out there. It was greasy, so
Yeah,
it's
it
not
was.
ideal.
It was pretty slick where you come near.
We opened this discussion in the last few days, but Dylan had lobbed something at us, which was how important an accident was when looking at used cars to us. And I'm going to push this around the table because I thought it was worth a discussion. Any thoughts? You want to talk first, Dylan?
Yeah, sure. So this came up because obviously looking at these Cayennes, and we've already joked that almost everyone has an accident because they do.
Okay. Yeah.
So here are my kind of thoughts on it. Looking in the range of 2011, 2013, that's a fair time ago. If the accident wasn't within the last 3 years, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like some crazy amount on the Carfax. But one we were looking at, I think within 6 months of leaving the dealership, it must have rear-ended a car. I mean, that's, 11 years ago now? And it's still running.
On the road.
Still running good.
Yeah.
I think at that point, I don't really care.
I think I haven't given this a ton of thought. I will tell you that when I was shopping for a 981 Boxster and/or Cayman, it was a deal breaker. I mean, everybody looked at it and was like, oh, it's been an accident. I just completely wrote it off. Except for one that I found, which was the right color, PCCBs, leather interior GTS.
Interesting.
Like, maybe I can forgive this.
He can be swayed by spec. That's what I'm hearing. Swayed by the spec. Okay.
But I'm with you on something like, and maybe it's, after it's 10 years old or whatever. Like I wouldn't buy a 3-year-old car that's been in an accident to save $5,000 or $6,000. But like, if it's happened that long ago, if it's a car that's, isn't perfect anyway. Okay. So it's been rear-ended once, or it's been sideswiped and painted, like big deal. I mean, I have two minds about it, but I think I'm with you on something that old. Can forgive it. It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah. I thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, I got to agree with both these guys.
Yeah.
Same thing. 10-year-old car, big deal. If it was fixed a while ago and it's still going, great. If it's something I'm not going to keep, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a keeper that's a newer car, then yeah.
That's another good consideration. Like if this is I might have this for 2 years, maybe 3. Meh.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sort of with you, Sean. I'm spec dependent, I think. I don't really care if it's had an accident, provided it was repaired with reasonable effort. It doesn't matter if there's a ding in the door or like the rear bumper on my truck doesn't exactly fit beautifully. I'm like, I don't care. It's okay. But that being said, I also think I weigh by the price. So
Oh, correct. Yeah,
if it's
absolutely.
$150,000 Bentley with an accident, I'm not sure I'd
Yeah.
take a chance.
No
I'm
doubt.
not, I just think you're going to eat that on the other side. You buy it for one, even though you're getting a deal. You buy it at 150, and the next guy goes, "Oh, it's had an accident. Sorry."
Yeah, that's a good point.
And to loop back on your, I think it was a Boxster you said, this one with the PCCBs. But let's be honest, even if I found the perfect GT4 that it had an accident, I probably wouldn't buy it.
No.
I
Yeah,
feel the
no,
same
me
about a
either.
GT3 or a race, any of those types
Yeah,
of race cars.
any kind of real sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't look at it if it had an accident.
But I will comment that the sports car that I would take a chance for is a Miata. At the price point of a Miata,
Don't they just get run over?
well, maybe, I don't know. My thought was more that it's an amazing sports car and it's priced reasonably, and even if it has an accident, I'm like, who cares? Like, you're not spending a ton of money on it. It's a $30,000 car or less, right? Which brings me around to a discussion you and I were having last week about Miatas.
Yeah, I've never driven one.
Yeah, that's a crying shame. Anyone else at this table? Am I the only one?
No, me either.
Yeah, I will admit that I think I understand why people do it, but as someone who's never driven one and probably doesn't fit in one that well, they've never appealed to me. I've never been like a Miata guy. I've never lusted after one. I know you had, what year was yours?
16.
Yeah, so a fairly new one.
Yeah, and I bought it 3 years old, and I didn't know anything about to go back in the history on it. I didn't know anything about the Miata game. I was just kind of watching them on Auto Trader, and this particular car came up, and I'll do my best to describe it. It was white with black wheels, BBS. It was a club sport car. It had Recaro seats. It was a really good looking thing, and it was at a Ford dealer, and they were asking $22,000, and I just called, and the guy said, "Oh, we only posted that this morning. You're like the 8th guy. If you get here today, you can have it." So I literally texted my wife and said, "I'm going to go look at a car." And she texted back and said, "Are you going to buy it?" And I said, "Probably." And I had never owned one before, although I had driven a couple of Miatas. I had driven an NA and an NB years ago. So that's first gen and second gen.
Yours
and
was
the car
ND?
ND, correct.
Okay.
And honestly, my first memory was it was like we got in this car, we're driving down this little side road, and I knew within 60 seconds I was going to buy that car. I knew it immediately. The guy's like, "Let's go for the test drive." I'm like, "You know what, man? We're good." I just know. And if I'm really honest, looking at the miles on the car, it was only 3 years old, and it had 35,000 kilometers, and I didn't understand that most Miatas would be really low miles, and I guess this one had actually been driven. And to me, 35,000 felt low, but I didn't understand low. And at that point, I wasn't a Porsche owner, so I really didn't understand low. Anyway, I bought this car, and it's the most wonderful driving experience at its price point. It's spectacular. You can use all of the gears all of the time. And when you go to fill it after ragging it like crazy, it's like $40.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful car. It is small. I'm 5'11", and I would say that you might get to 6 feet comfortably, and after that, it'd be small. But on the positive side of things, when you want to wash it frequently, when it's your baby, like mine was, it takes
12
2
minutes.
minutes to wash it. Especially because it was white. You could just fly around this car. And it was interesting because when I was buying my first Cayman, I went to trade it, and the Porsche dealer was like, I kind of thought they weren't going to be interested. And the guy said to me, no, absolutely. We take Miatas all the time. And he called it the gateway car to buying a Boxster.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
He said, we
Oh,
take them all
interesting.
the time. And he paid me. I paid $22,000 for it. He bought it from me for $25,000. And I had driven it 5,000 kilometers. And I mean, let's just be honest. I should have kept it, I think. If I look back, I probably would have kept it at that price point. But it felt like such a good deal. I had the car for a year. I put all those miles on it, and I still got paid more money.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those moments I was like, that was amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, right?
No, not at all. And even better than that was at those times, I don't want to generalize too much, but Porsche dealers were hungry for work. So, they made me a deal. They picked it up, paid to ship it up to their dealer, which was 6 hours away,
wow.
paid to ship my Cayman home. It was all like
That's
a nice...
not been happening in the last 36 months.
No, it was wonderful.
Might happen this year.
It might.
Like,
Speaking of, though,
Yeah.
one point that stood out to me on that conversation was you mentioned that it had black wheels, and you seemed quite proud of that fact.
I mean, this is a complicated issue. It identified it as a club sport car, which I thought was excellent. It had those BBS, like those sexy kind of mesh BBS wheels, and it had Brembo brakes, and it was all sexy. But,
Could you not get and I agree, I understand that the BBS wheels were part of that package in the Recaros, but they were only in black?
Correct. At that time, yeah. And Club Sport cars, I think, were only available in maybe white, red, and black. Although they offered other colors. There was like maybe a navy blue I can't remember what colors there were. There were a few colors on Miata, but anyway, yeah. I see where you're going. I see the smirk on his face over there. He wants to open the wound about black wheels. Let's toss that around the table.
And as I was thinking about this, I believe that your Cayman also had black wheels. The GTS did it.
Oh, man, he's really
You had black on black.
I'm feeling attacked here. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like what's happened here?
So I was going to come out of the gate really hot on this because I really do hate black wheels.
Have you always though?
Well, so I did some reflecting, and I had a Mark III GTI. Excuse me, it was a Golf. It was not a GTI. I wanted it to look like a GTI, so I had bought some aftermarket wheels. It was in 1996, and they were black. Now that I think of it, they had like a chrome ring lip, if you will.
Yeah, it doesn't do much.
At the time, I thought it was sweet, but now that I look back at it, it was a terrible choice. And really now, though, like I implore everybody who is speccing their car and spending thousands of dollars or buying aftermarket wheels, it just doesn't look better. Your car that disappears in photos.
Yeah, we want to see the wheels.
Apart from, a very specific spec on like a Batman GT3 RS or the pumpkin thing, like I get it in orange and black, that sort of works, but it just doesn't do anything for your car. Put some silver wheels, put some white ones if you want. We have locally here, there's a Cayman GTS white with white wheels.
Ooh, the one that's at the dealer.
Never in a million years would I have thought, oh, that would be great. But when it showed up, we all found it. Yes, that's true.
That's right. Yeah.
And we all loved it. So yeah, PSA, please stop ordering black wheels.
As a person who owned black wheels, I felt like a significant...
You still do own black wheels.
Yeah, but a shot came across my bow there. That was pretty savage.
So I am something quite hypocritical now because I was one of the people who was calling you, twice a week saying, have you ordered those wheels for your Cayenne yet? And they were black, and I love those wheels. So I guess
the truth comes out.
Yeah, this is where I would argue.
I'm sort of fence sitting here, but so there are some exceptions, but generally speaking, don't order black wheels.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to be on the fence on this one. I think sports cars, tough look with black rims.
Maybe that's the distinction.
Like we look at look at how many cars we send together. Wow, look at those silver wheels. Oh, look at those bronze wheels. The black one, you're like, oh, where are the wheels?
Yeah,
can't see them.
That's right.
But a murdered out new Cadillac Escalade looks sick.
Yeah, but is it $160,000 sick?
No, I'll answer that for you.
I saw the struggle.
I don't know if you're going to play in that game. Like
maybe.
I don't know. Like a Lincoln Navigator's got to be 145.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Yeah,
I don't know.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah. I'm not a hater. I'm not, because I do think that there is good fit for black wheels occasionally, and the one that I can't resist commenting on Instagram all the time is when I see like a dealer post a new white GT3 RS, and it's
the
like
Panda
full
looks
white.
great.
Yeah, the Panda. I think the Panda's a good look, which to be fair is exactly what my Miata presented.
Yeah,
and it's why when I walked up to it, I was like, "This looks. I like it. I'm with you that you lose the definition of the wheel. I'll never question that part."
The other part for me, and I'm jumping back in before you've had a chance here, Mike, but Amy, my wife, likes black wheels. So we've had a number of Atlases we've talked about, and some of them came with black wheels. The one that didn't, we actually had a local company here to sort of powder coat them black. And
ooh, that's like...
Yeah, you can't play on the fence anymore.
Yeah, man.
You sent them away to get power
I did none of this.
Who did that?
This is her car. So this is her decision, and I wash my hands of it.
Okay.
But I am the one generally who keeps it clean from time to time.
Right, yep.
And if they're not gloss black, they immediately turn brown because they get dirt and dust and brake dust, and they look awful.
Yep.
If they're gloss black, they immediately scuff and scratch, and they also look bad. And they're never clean. And it's one of those things you can sort of put some soap and pressure wash a silver wheel, and it will look pretty clean at the end. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen with the black wheel. They always look dirty. You have to scrub them and rub them. There's nothing good about it. I'm back to
He's jumped off the fence again.
Yes,
I think.
I'm
He's
off
gone
the
over
fence.
the fence.
Thank you.
Mike?
In the
Michael.
neighbor's yard?
Yeah, in the neighbor's yard.
He has a pool, so maybe.
Mike?
Well, funny thing you say that, because these Trans-Siberia wheels that I've got, I am now thinking of powder coating black.
Oh, really?
I've had a change of heart.
Are we talking a gloss black or a
Oh,
matte
gloss
black?
Sorry.
black.
Let's,
Gloss black.
hang on. Let's
We were
pause
going
here.
bronze a week ago.
We're going bronze a week
And
ago.
we're going to
okay.
go back to the beadlocks.
Yeah. So now I'm still going back to the Trans-Siberias and gloss black.
Gloss black.
Wow.
Okay, is that because
There
did
was
I,
that.
did
There
I
was that
share you a
one-
picture of
Yeah,
something
that
like
one
that?
was shared to the group today, and I just love that black wheels,
Murdered out.
murdered out look. Just looks awesome.
You are preaching to the choir, man.
Is this decision over, or can I appeal to you on this?
You can
Give him 3 days.
Yeah,
and
who knows?
change.
I have no idea where this is going to go. So
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
I think they look quite good in gloss black. I do.
I think they would.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I would just like to remind you, and maybe you didn't look yet, but the Cayenne I sent you today had a bronzy-ish color wheel against the
I do
black,
like
and
that.
it looked really good.
I do like that.
Is it that kind of goldy bronze or the kind of
No,
like?
it was like,
Yeah.
how would you describe? I was going to say rusty, but
Brass.
that's not exactly.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I know what you're
It's
getting
It's
at.
a darker, tarnished look.
Okay. Yeah.
I do like that. I don't know. I'm so on the fence.
It's going to come down to that like last second
know,
when he's
I know.
dropping the wheels off at the paint
I know,
company,
but-
and they're going to say, "What are we doing?" Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I can feel the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think black wheels have a fit, and I do always. Yeah, good looking. Yeah. Dylan's
Yeah.
showing us a picture of this.
Yeah,
that
and
looks
scroll
good.
because there's a hard shot down, like a full.
We'll
side.
share a picture of it on the page, and
We will.
then that way people can get on. Anyway, I'm torn. I think the Panda works on a race car. I love.
Oh,
that.
yeah. This looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that does look
Yeah.
pretty good.
See, I think what we should. And I mean,
We're gonna have to share that because we're having a deep down discussion in the weeds here, and the listener has no idea
this-
what we're
this is
talking
right, yeah.
about.
So let's just leave it. If the poll goes out and overwhelmingly people vote against the black, can we sway you on this? Will
Yeah,
you
I
commit
think
to
we
that?
Really?
Are you doing decals?
Yeah, I'm going to do some decals.
So you're just going to go black on black decal?
Yeah, yeah maybe.
Ooh, subtle. Oh, I like that. Okay. I
Wow,
purposely.
that's another-
I think I'm in my car world. I'm known as a guy who likes color, and I purposely had the Cayenne with black wheels because I like that. Like, it's an SUV. I don't need it to be like
Looks tough.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, and I think the ultimate compliment is my wife, who has literally said multiple times that she likes walking up to it because it feels quote beefy,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's definitely heavy.
Yeah, I
It
like
looks that way.
Oh yeah, and it steers it too, man. Yeah. It's got some heft. You know, those big tires on those big wheels.
Mike notices that at the gas pumps too.
I do
Yeah.
so far.
Let's brighten up this conversation with a little bit of a shift to color matched wheels. Since we're on wheels, I have to have this conversation because I am a big pusher of this. I like to share photos of it on Instagram and really shove it at people. And I realize that it's really controversial. I dig it. And referencing specifically the white car
Yes.
with the white
Oh,
wheels.
gross.
You don't like that car?
No, not with
I
the
think it looks
silver.
cute. No, the white Cayman with the white.
Oh, sorry. I
paintwork.
thought you were going to talk about the other one you shared with the white
White and
face.
silver.
And then the silver is like
the
aluminum
the
inside.
turbo
No.
50th wheels.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not the right thing. No, I'm thinking of color matched. So the idea being
Just
that
full
it's a
color.
Yeah, exactly. So this white Cayman with white wheels, or a yellow, Cayman with yellow wheels. Mike's got something to say. I feel it.
I fell in love with the 928 we saw in L.A. Dwayne, I
Oh.
believe his name was, the 928 Club Sport.
The Riviera Blue one.
Riviera Blue.
It's
Color match wheels.
968
Blaine,
Club
yes.
Sport.
Blaine.
Blaine
Sorry.
Waddell. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful car.
Yeah. It really is
And
beautiful.
The blue wheels on there just made it. Couldn't go with anything else.
That's a really rare car, if I recall correctly, Mike. Riviera Blue 968 Club Sport. They made like
Oh, it's
10,
9
like a
or
tiny
something.
number.
Yeah,
They were
small.
all speed yellow. They
Yeah.
were all maritime blue. They were all silver, black, white. I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
The cars are beautiful.
Love it.
Sean looks like he's itching to insert a comment.
I'm going to try not to fence it on this, but I think I am sort of a little bit down the middle because, like you, I've seen a 968 in maritime blue with Cup 2s, I believe they are, or a very similar version
Yeah.
in color match, and I think it's a cool looking car. Mike, you once built on the configurator and shared it
I knew
a
this was
red
coming.
Cayman
Oh my
with
God.
red wheels, and I believe it had a red interior.
Hang on, I don't remember that.
Yeah, red wheels for sure. I don't think red.
Maybe
interior.
not red
When did you do
interior.
that?
Oh,
A while
I think it
ago.
was because it was almost like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, it was a wild build, and
What?
I don't know if it was meant
I
to
got
be serious,
ridiculed.
but yeah, it looked terrible.
I'm here for you, man. I don't remember that. I would have protected that. I would have defended
I
it.
thought my wife would have looked great driving this thing.
I still come back to it, and maybe I'm not all that creative, but like a dark color, particularly a dark blue, it's got to have silver wheels. Someone that we sort of know of built quite a special GT4RS in GT Silver, and it had dark sea blue wheels and dark sea blue mirrors and end plates.
Yeah, little touches.
That's not exactly color matched wheels, but I loved that car. I thought that looked fantastic.
No, I think you've strayed too far from color matched wheels.
Yeah.
Well, it's matching, but
No.
fine. So I
Because you're
guess
still getting that definition where you can tell the wheel isn't the car.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think my final verdict on this is I do like it on certain things. I don't think it's really my vibe.
I shared a Cayman S to our conversation, I don't know, in the last few days, that was, I think, aventurine green.
Yes.
With the Carrera S wheel in aventurine green. And because it's a Cayman S, had red calipers. And honestly, it worked pretty well because it was that wheel design. I
thought
don't
those
like
wheels
the...
were graphite gray. I didn't even pick up on the fact
No,
those
the
were color
whole
matched.
thing is a color match.
Oh,
That's why
dear.
I shared it. Yeah, I thought it actually was executed pretty well because that aventurine green is a nice color,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
is.
if a lot of people are ballsy enough to spec it. So, it may,
Especially with paint match wheels.
well, that's it, and
Yeah.
it might be it might verge on a little bit old manish, but
We
the
all
color,
like a little
not
old,
the
color,
old
yeah, the
man
color,
spec.
not the match, but the color. Anyway, I thought the Cayman looked great in that combo. I thought it turned out really nicely.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so on the fence. I think it's a case by case.
Yes.
And I would never own one.
really.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
that's okay. Yeah.
No. Not a chance.
I'm with Dylan. I think all of the ones that I've seen that I've gone like, okay, yeah, that sort of works. They're all of an older era. Like anything modern,
Yeah. I
for the
agree.
most part, I don't like.
So the only kind of feedback I have to that is that sometimes I find you're right, and I would say that I find sometimes when you see the older wheels, the spokes of the wheels are wider, so you get it's almost like it made more sense when the spokes were
Yeah,
wide.
that's
And
a
when you
good-
get to these modern wheels, i.e. the GTS 4-liter wheels that are on your car,
Yeah, skinny
they're-
little
yeah, they're
spokes
skinny, and
and-
you almost lose the impact of
Yeah.
them because you don't see enough flat surface that's actually color
Yeah.
matched to the car. I'm going on a limb here and telling you that I don't know if I ever told any of you, I don't know, but I did toy with buying a set of GT4 wheels separately for the car and painting them mint green and just dropping it as a total like insta surprise. I couldn't get a Porsche dealer to play ball to give me the right price.
I think that would have looked.
It was just meant to
Not so-
shock. It was only
Well,
for
yeah,
shock.
that would've
That's
been
all it
shock,
was.
yeah.
You would have had the effect.
I was
yes.
going to come along, put a post out, and people were going to go, hold on, is that the same dude? I'm not sure. Is that the same car? But I wasn't going to get rid of these. They were going to stay. I was just going to buy a second set.
Yeah.
Here's a number that'll shock you. They were $11,000 for 4. Canadian.
Just the wheels.
The wheels, no TPMS sensors, no tires, no nothing. No center caps either. And Porsche's happy to take your $75 for a center cap. One center cap.
Interesting that, again, we obviously have admitted that we're all sort of Porsche people, and this is sometimes a Porsche-centric conversation, but are there any other manufacturers or even cars that you can think of that did color matching wheels? Like, I mean, we can all recall of a 968 or a 964, or, something from the past, but
I don't know. Did
IROC
the
Z?
Ooh, yeah, or like
which?
IROC.
oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was back in the
Back in the day.
yeah. Back where
but they
Chrome
had
ruled.
some diamond.
Yes, it
cutting.
would have had that kind of
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I've seen some
remember, like-
red on red.
Yeah, red on red for sure.
You know what you can get with paint match wheels, Dylan, is a $160,000 Cadillac Escalade.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there you go, black on black.
This goes
Yeah.
as long
I
as
don't
color
really count
black.
black on black. They're paint matched.
Well, you could paint them white. People just might look at you like you're some sort of, I don't know, plastic surgeon. Someone who's got too much money.
I think
That's not a bad problem to have.
No,
right?
no, fair enough. Yeah.
I think I've probably seen like a Lamborghini Huracan or something like that with paint match wheels, but maybe not from the
factory.
factory. No, exactly.
No, factory stuff's hard to think of, Sean. I don't know.
I can't think of anything.
I'm trying to think if like My immediate reaction was like, did the Nissan Z ever come that way? Anything like that?
I don't think so.
Nah, I mean, again, black on black is not color matching wheels though, because it's just
No,
black
no.
wheels
Yeah,
that everyone
yeah,
gets
yeah.
with black paint. So you have to exclude that. But
I don't know if anybody knows. Let us know.
Yeah, something worth. We'll post a
you
little comment about it. You can respond. Speaking of Nissan, some big news. Not that we're Nissan people, but we're going to do our best to dive in here. Nissan and Honda are apparently officially announcing this merger conversation, at least exploratory conversation.
exploratory, I think, is
Yeah. That feels like a big deal in the automotive space. I mean, since I was a kid, I remember going to the Nissan dealer and staring at the early 90s Sentra SER and kind of coveting one, the two-door or the four-door. Didn't matter. I coveted it. Now I think they're worth a total fortune because you can't buy one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I have distinct memories of going to both the Honda dealer and to the Nissan dealer. And I'm of two minds. I'm a little bit... I almost wonder if Nissan merging into Honda dilutes the Honda brand strength. I wonder about that.
I think that's... I mean, first of all, I don't think it's going to be a kumbaya merger. I think that Honda,
I don't think so either.
Honda, you know, the PR people may spin it as that, but clearly there's some financial issues at Nissan and other car manufacturers right now.
Yeah.
And Honda's either been asked to or been told to, or I think that there's a good reason to keep the brand alive. But I don't think they would do that and then just become sort of one or merge their product lines. Like I suspect there'll be a financial backer or owner, but like the brand has to continue, doesn't it? Or what's the point?
I don't know.
Well, yeah. What are they going to do? Consolidate all the models? Like,
I don't know that.
I don't know.
know.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
I'm just trying to think of other companies that would have famously done that. Like was it Renault? Maybe Renault got involved with Nissan. I can't remember. But their product lines effectively stayed separate. They were just, they may be owned by the same kind of parent conglomerate. I'm just trying. There's a lot of companies that have done this. I don't know.
Well, I
just
think about Daimler, Chrysler, and
Benz, Daimler Benz.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, so they shared like whatever the chassis. So it was a W124 or W129, which is an old big Mercedes chassis.
Oh,
They
yeah,
built
okay.
the Chrysler 300 on that, which was
I never knew that.
yeah.
That's
it was
interesting.
already 10 years old when they originally launched it. So there's, and then now, you know, Stellantis, which is
That's the
Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge.
They still own Ferrari.
Stellantis, no.
No, okay, I couldn't remember. Were they involved with Ferrari at some point?
I don't think so.
Oh, maybe I'm
Well,
thinking
Fiat
of
was.
Fiat. Yeah. I don't know. You're blowing my mind, though. I didn't realize.
So you're right. There's definitely lots of R&D sharing, I think, behind the scenes, and maybe some platform, but they still make their own branded cars that are unique. So I mean, I agree with you, Mike. Like, frankly, I don't.
Nissan Civic anytime soon.
But I'm still stuck on that. I didn't know they were doing that old giant two-door Mercedes chassis that became the Chrysler 300C. I never knew that.
Yeah.
My only memory of a 300C is I worked at a car rental and we got them in, and forgive me, but you felt like a gangster driving that car. Like, because the window like waistline was up high, the window was short. You put your arm up, you felt cool. It was a cool car.
One of our prior episodes, I believe that had a clock in the dash. Not
It
very
did
nice.
have a
Sure
clock
did.
in the dash. Yeah. I felt pretty cool, man. And then when the occasional one that would come in, I'm never going to know, maybe an S with a V8.
Yes.
It was pretty cool.
So that
I was
car-
16, to be
that
fair.
Only died last year.
I was going to say, it's been around. Now, like, the newest version was not as cool as the original.
Agreed.
No.
Yeah.
It only died last year?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The 300C.
Yeah, 300C. I
I
feel like
didn't
it
know
got
that.
smaller.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe other cars got bigger, Dylan.
Maybe.
Ooh, that's really going to cook the noodle. I don't know. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm torn on them. I'm going to step outside my luxury car world and tell you that I do think that when the Nissan Sentra drives by, the ones that are kind of those bicolor where there's like a black roof and a white body and a panda set of wheels, I think it's a good looking little car. And it almost, every time I look at it, I say to my wife, like, if I was ever like looking for the small commuter car,
Yeah.
I think they're good looking. They really have a sporty look to them. I've never driven one. I can't provide any real feedback, but I like the look. I don't think Nissan's done anything badly that way. And we were talking about the kicks.
Yeah.
I think the kicks looks good.
It is a good, yeah, I agree. But I mean, is anybody buying them? I guess that's the question.
I don't
Like,
know. I don't know. Maybe rental companies, like maybe there's a fleet business we don't know about. I don't know.
They used to have the Altima, right?
Yeah, and they
had
still
this-
do, right?
I mean,
They
this
must
is
still
the
make an
point. I
Ultima.
have
Yeah.
no idea.
I would hope so. I would think that's their number one.
And,
I would have thought the same. Or Rogue.
The Rogue.
well, they
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
make
the
a
Rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah.
There's a heinous CVT transmission, but also sort of a lot of Hondas. So
Right.
But I think their competitors are just stepping up more than they have been.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, you
maybe.
look at Kia and a Hyundai.
Yeah, for sure.
you're
Those are the
Genesis.
leaders.
you're a pickup truck guy. Would you ever buy a? I mean, in fact, you could buy a Cummins diesel in the Titan, if I'm not mistaken. Did you ever?
Oh yeah,
did
no.
you
The
cross
price
shop?
price point was like way higher than it needed to be.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it
okay, I
was
wouldn't have known
expensive.
that. For the diesel specifically, or just that truck in general?
Just that truck in general.
Do you think they were trying
compared to a Ford? Like, I mean, the thing is, when you're buying an F-150, you're getting an F-150. Like, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're also not paying sticker, and I don't know what Nissan's doing to discount, but
Yeah, I don't know. Either,
I think
to be
they
honest
stopped
with you.
making the Titan now, right? I think it's done. Like, only recently done.
I think that's true. I think they still
Yeah.
make the Frontier. I know they make the Frontier.
Yeah, which I think is a good-looking little truck.
Yeah, that one is like a Ranger, right?
yeah, Ranger
Ish,
or
yeah.
like a Taco, basically. It competes with
Tacoma,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Tacoma. Yeah. Was that? Did you just use Toyota speak there? Was that like
Yeah,
a
Taco.
Taco.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Whoa.
A friend of mine owns one, and that
have a
that's
sticker
thing.
on the back.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm,
very
not sure.
common.
I'm not sure. I'm that cool yet. I don't know.
Yeah, the TRD off-road one's pretty sweet.
They are pretty
They're
sweet.
nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not going to question that. And as a former Forerunner owner, my heart still beats for a heavy, loud, slow Toyota.
Do they
But,
have a cute nickname that you could throw out from the Forerunners Owners Club, or no?
no, but I can tell you what ours was called.
Fair.
It was called Blitz.
Blitz.
Yeah, it was silver. It was a trail. It had a hood scoop. It felt cool. The hood scoop did exactly nothing.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Did it have a snorkel?
No snorkel. It had KO2s on it.
Yes.
It was never lifted because it already rode pretty high anyway. But I'm going to shock you with the metrics. Bought it for $44,000. 5 years later, sold it for $40,000.
Yeah.
5 years
Yeah.
of driving.
This is a bit of a habit
Unheard
for
of.
you.
It was a
drive.
wonderful car.
Yeah.
Other than terrible on fuel.
Yeah.
Like you never got better than 17 liters 100. It never changed. And remember that it's underpowered. It had I think the Forerunner would have been 270 horsepower, 4-liter, 6-cylinder. It worked.
Yeah.
You felt that it had to work. 5-speed transmission, not even a 6.
Not good. Yep.
But there's something to be said for that legendary Toyota. Like, there's a reason they didn't change it. That's because it works. Anyway, my soft spot for Toyota, it's still there.
Well, I'll be interested to see what comes of this.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a soft spot at all for Nissan. Or
No,
No, me neither.
any-
Me neither.
any of
No,
their
no.
I
products.
got no skin in the game on this one.
Yeah.
No. I am sort of sentimental about Honda. My first car was a Honda Civic, and I said earlier that I thought that Nissan coming into Honda would dilute Honda's brand. I actually think the exact inverse is true for Nissan. It drags their
totally.
brand up.
Oh, yeah. I would think so.
And I'm torn on that because I don't want a product like the wonderful Civic Type R to get sort of lost in the fray between this massive selection of cars they might have when you pile them together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does anybody know where Nissans are made?
Isn't it all Japan now? Oh, well, they might have plants in the U.S.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but Japanese company from its roots. But yeah, I'm sure there's manufacturing all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know
I
that.
wonder if that's like kind of a play.
I mean, similarly, like
Maybe.
Get in on Honda's infrastructure.
Big plant here in the area here.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
multiple.
In Ohio,
Honda.
right?
Yep.
I don't know. My last experience with Honda wasn't exactly a pleasant one. I had made a decision that I wanted to buy an FL5 Civic Type R, and I went to multiple Honda dealers, and I think they forgot that they're Honda and they're not Porsche, and I think they were all kind of like, oh, that car's impossible to buy. No, it's impossible. No. We've got this one here. We've only ever got one. It's used. It's got 2,000 kilometers on it. We're asking $20,000
Yeah.
over the original price, and I couldn't even keep a straight face because it's one of those moments you're like, well, the Honda dealer has never had this opportunity. Then the owner probably thought, I'll just drive this for the weekend and bomb around it, and then we'll flip it for profit. And I just was not going to have that. It was never going to happen.
What year was this?
Last year, 2023. I worked pretty hard. I drove to a bunch of different Honda dealers looking.
Yeah. I mean, certainly through COVID, like I can remember whenever the Mark 8 Golf R came out, and they had all kinds of problems with production. They couldn't really produce them. But I mean, dealers were asking 10, 15 over for a Golf R at that time. So I mean, I get it then. But in 23, there's not a fever pitch to buy a Civic Type R, is there?
I
think there was.
There was. No, it's an amazing car.
I'm not knocking the car. I agree, I love it. But like,
yeah, but I was like, guys, come on, like it's a Honda Civic. I
Yeah.
appreciated that you're trying, but it's just not going to happen. You know, and I did actually try multiple times to just place an order, and they wouldn't even take the order. So I don't know what that really means. They could have just been, fencing it off for their VIPs. And I'm going to guess the only way to become a Honda VIP is you buy fleet cars, right? You're buying 30 CRVs for your sales team.
A couple
You're
of
buying-
Odysseys aren't going to do it.
I don't think that's enough, man. Not even close. I don't know. I did try to buy, when the GR Corolla came out, I tried to buy one of those. Months before it was even available, I went to the dealer, asked to put a deposit down. They said, yeah, no problem. I never gave them any money because they didn't ask for any money because they didn't even know the car's stats. Like nothing had really been launched other than pictures.
Yeah.
And when the car came out on the day they launched it, I phoned. And I said, hey, just want to make sure my name's still on the list. No, it's impossible. Nope, can't have that car. It's being given to all the VIPs. And it was made clear to me that the VIPs were buying 100 RAV4s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that it's kind of I get the concept now, but initially I was like, how do you become a VIP at Honda? Or
Buying a
Toyota?
fleet.
Yeah.
You're a big company that has a bunch of people on the road. Or a
Interesting.
bunch of commercial leases. Yeah.
Well, one quick point of reference on Honda.
Please.
And I think this is now 4 or 5 episodes in a row. We are going to reinvigorate the Buzz ID conversation.
Oh, no, really? I thought we
had
were going to get away with it.
Oh, sorry, I've just ruined it. I had a thought on the weekend because we came down quite hard on it and said, A, it costs too much, and B, it's just people aren't really looking for that. So I thought, I saw what appeared to be a brand new Toyota Sienna van. Mm-hmm. And I thought, those are probably quite expensive now. They're hybrids of this, that. So I don't know what the base model was, but top of the line, which the Buzz is a launch edition, right? So I think it makes sense to compare it to the top of the food chain.
Okay.
What do you gentlemen think that a fully spec'd Toyota Sienna minivan costs?
Top of the line.
Top of the line, every option.
$85,000.
No way.
I was going to say
No way.
I was going to
It's
say
gonna be in the
82.
60s.
I was going to say 82.
$85,000.
I'm going 60 to
Tell me
high
I'm right.
50s.
Tell me I'm right.
Well, Price is Right rules, you're wrong. I think.
We never established the rules.
No, we didn't. From memory, I think the MSRP was 74.4
Okay.
plus
Oh,
tax.
jeez.
So if you want to cheat and say,
think
well, you
82
are
is close now.
including yeah.
If you all want to cheer for me, it's okay. I'm a little above, but I'm in the right ballpark. Toyota's not afraid to charge anymore because they kind of know that people who are going to buy their product know that they're going to hold their value.
Yeah.
I think that's the game.
And they don't really knock a bunch of money off those Toyotas, do you
No,
know?
they do not.
No.
No. And I can recall when we bought the RAV4, I think the finance rate was 4%.
Yeah, they don't.
And,
Yeah, they don't give money out for free.
Everybody else was zero.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And that hybrid system's really good on those.
It's
Toyotas.
excellent.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
And the Honda Odyssey, little cheaper, but it was still high 60s for the top
Okay.
spec
Interesting.
vans.
I was going to say,
Interesting.
because I think the Pacifica,
It was 60
Chrysler,
grand back in the day.
Do they still
Yeah.
make that?
No.
Oh,
I think they're done, but I'm going to say within the last year or two.
Recent, yeah.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that.
Because I remember getting picked up in an Uber and one. It was full white interior.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
in a van.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, this is a risky maneuver.
It was a town and country.
In an
Though. That was a
Uber.
luxury product.
Whoa. I don't
It
want to
was
alarm you
sweet.
guys, but we've gone from sports cars to minivans.
We really brought it back to the people
Yeah.
here.
I think we may have alienated our core base, but it's worth a conversation. I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. Maybe the day comes when I can buy a FL5 Type R retail, but at this moment, they all still think they got something special. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I'll wait them out. I can wait longer than they can, and that would necessitate in my life to remove the Cayenne. I'm not going to have 3. It doesn't make sense.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Not with garage space at this moment.
No, yeah, that's it. And I don't think it makes a lot of sense. There's no point. At some point, you're just collecting to have assets in the garage. It doesn't matter,
You've got to talk to your insurance broker because I can't afford that.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother.
Episode.
That's a whole thing. I do want to just throw this out there. I think this is episode 5. We're obviously pivoting left and right on all kinds of different subjects. It was suggested to me recently and to Mike that we should plan in the future episodes where we highlight one of our team members and we talk to them about their car history. So it'll effectively become a job interview for that one person, one at a time.
Interesting.
So I think we're going to do it. So all I'm saying is start preparing your notes.
All right.
I need to know every
All right.
detail.
Oh, wow.
Right from the beginning. How many times you failed your driver's test?
Okay.
How many accidents you had?
Yeah.
How many speeding tickets you got?
Yeah, people seem remarkably to be interested in our past. So it was brought up. I thought we should try that. I thought it'd be fun.
Hopefully none of us have DUIs, and if you do, you
Nope.
can-
Nope, no blower.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No party light.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Well-
to understand your car history.
I think that is interesting. I can't fill 40 minutes with my car history, but
No.
I'll give you some.
10.
Yeah, probably about 10.
I'll give you Sean's. He's been to the Volkswagen dealer many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong with that. I've had many Volkswagens.
I've been all over the place, and I think Dylan might be the same, and I think Mike might be the same.
Yeah, I'm all over the place too.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, it's something to look forward to. We'll talk about it in the future, but I thought it was a good suggestion. I think it'll be fun to do a kind of job interview of everyone, a little test.
You stole your thunder a bit here. We've heard you've got a Miata or had a Miata.
That's okay. We didn't get into the real. There's all kinds of.
Oh,
things.
there's more in the weeds.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of things.
Okay.
We didn't enter the Subaru world yet.
Oh, dear.
And are we just talking cars? Or are we just talking anything motor?
No, I think cars. That's what people were suggesting, so
right.
that's fine. I mean, if you've had a Sea-Doo, that's cool. I don't, or a Skidoo. I mean, that's cool. An ATV. I'm not into those.
John Deere 110.
This guy cuts lawn with the best of them. Yeah,
You should see those stripes.
Anybody have a massive Ferguson?
yeah, exactly. Give us a follow on Instagram. Mike's been managing that. I think we're closing in on 100 followers.
We're getting there.
Holy.
We are
Yeah.
posting on YouTube also now. So this episode we are recording as a test, and we'll see if we can get a video up on YouTube, because we were just putting a placeholder and then the audio file. Give us a follow on Instagram. We'll put more
Like,
polls out.
comment,
We'll talk.
share, all
Yeah,
that
exactly. Any notes, any ideas, send them over to us. I did put a post out asking for ideas, and we got some good responses. So we'll add those in over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
No comments on Mike and I's posture this episode, please. Thank
No.
you.
We're all hunched over.
It's fine.
It's late. It's been a long day. You did a lot of shoveling today.
Absolutely. Sore back.
Anyway, let's call it there, and we'll catch up next week. Say goodbye, fellas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.